Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. On the subject of wealth, some people see it as money in the bank, while others see it as owning a piece of property, land, cars, you name it. I have no problems with these definitions, but one thing I'd like to add to that is wealth also lies in the quality of friends one has. I am wealthy because I have a good quality of friends. The guest on my podcast today is one of the reasons I consider myself the richest man on the planet. Stay tuned as we discuss gender wars, what you would do with £1 million, and between Ogi and Custard, which is the better preparation. I can't wait for you to meet her. My name is Kay, and this is the K Touch. Hello everyone, and welcome to the K Touch. I have before me Oluchi. Now I'm going to be calling her Chi throughout this interview because she and I go way back. Oluchi, how are you doing?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm all right. Thanks for coming on my podcast. Now, the rules are simple. I'm going to be asking you a couple of questions, random, unconnected questions, and we're going to be making art in the process. So I've got my sheet of paper, and I'm sure you've got yours as well. So let's just crack on. Oluchi, I cannot remember how we met. I know it's been decades. I know we've known each other for, I say, and I'm saying this reservedly, I'm thinking 15 to 20 years, but I cannot remember how exactly we met. Can you?
I do. I think I do. Or I think I remember the first day we spoke.
Okay.
I remember we were in youth church.
Yeah.
So you were sitting, there are two doors. There's one that's close to the gate that you can see if you're coming in from that gate. And there's one that you can see if you're coming, that's facing the big church.
Yeah, from the other end. Mm-hmm.
Yes. So you were sitting towards the end, or towards the door that is facing the big church. Then I was sitting kind of closer to the other door. I was closer to you than the door, but I was at that angle. So I remember you were just sitting down and just looking in my direction. Now I was new, I didn't know anybody, and I was just sitting down and looking around, and you were just looking in my direction, and you now came up and said hello to me and started talking to me. And that's how we started talking. And it made that people just start talking to me too, because it broke the ice basically.
Well, it's so interesting because I don't know. I'll just say this again. Let me just feel your head. My friend will say that I am washing the person, but it's not washing. I can't ever imagine a conversation that I've had with you that has not been beneficial to me. End of. I just can't. It's like you have those default people on phone. Who am I going to talk to today that will make me feel good? Let's call Oluchi. Who am I going to talk to today that will tell me some level of truth? Let's call Oluchi. So I'm really glad that at least I can say that knowing you has been so much of a plus that even so many years later, I can still count and depend on this individual. So that's just something.
Yeah, I that was one of the reasons I agreed to do this, because our conversations are always healthy for me. They are very beneficial to me. So, and when I saw the first one, it reminded me of how we used to talk. And I was like,
yes, now. This is a random question from nowhere, and I know where I'm going with this one. 1 million naira.
Okay.
In your bank account right now, what would you do with it? If you had from nowhere 1 million naira in your bank account, what are you going to do with it?
I'll most likely invest it.
I already knew that's what it was going to be.
Why did you say that?
Yeah, it's either going to be investment or business, one of those two.
Yes, investment, because I'm not yet, I don't really have a business right now that I'm trying to set up.
Okay.
So it's investment. And I've been reading up on investments lately. So I would actually want to put that in there.
Yeah, and viewers, for those of you who don't know, like I said, Oluchi is Igbo. And there's something about the Igbos now, and I don't know, this is not about me, this is about the Igbos generally. Like I said, it's either business or investment. When money comes, hey, the Igbos know what to do with money. That's why she's saying that. And it's interesting because if you gave me 1 million now, apart from obviously giving a part to the church, blessing people's lives, the thing that is coming to my mind with 1 million is a Jaguar XT, I think, or XP, burgundy red, and it has its own custom plate on top of it. That car I've been eyeing it since 19 something, so I already know that's what I'm doing with 1 million.
Will 1 million be able to buy that car?
No, that's the truth. 1 million naira will not, but if it were 1 million pounds, I'll still have small change remaining.
Yes, definitely.
Okay, here's another one. Can you dance?
I'd like to think that I can, but it all depends. I'm not really someone that knows how to dance like trendy dance. Let me say this is a new trend like this. I don't really learn those kind of dances easily, but I can dance. If you put the kind of music, like if you put on a good music, I will be able to dance to
it. Normally, when people say those things, I don't really believe them. So the question I ask you is, name one dance step. If you are so confident that you are a dancer, at least one dance step that you.
Okay, everybody cannot dance like you. You can dance. Everybody cannot dance. I can move my body to music. That's what I'm telling you. I can, and I wouldn't look weird doing it. But if you say I should dance, I remember when this dance step Atlanta was raining.
Oh yes.
I tried my best, and especially the worst was Yahooze. When Yahooze was raining, I remember. Not just figured that out at all. But I liked it, but I couldn't figure it out. So that's why I said I'm not like someone that knows how to dance any dance that is trending.
Yeah.
But I move my body to music. That's what.
Okay, all right. I will take that one. Here's another one.
Okay.
I've noticed that in all our conversations, and we're talking decades of knowing you, I rarely hear you speak broken English. Now, for our viewers, broken English is a kind of funny Nigerian. Oluchi and I are Nigerian, so it's a funny Nigerian version of the English language. But Oluchi is so touche that in all our conversations, broken English never even comes into the play. Why? Miss, what is the issue? Because
I did not on one hand, I did not grow up speaking Pidgin. Okay. So I'm not like fluent in it. Recently though, I'm getting fluent in it because I've been embracing my, will I say, abaya side, if I should put it like that. But no, I didn't grow up speaking Pidgin. I grew up with my parents correcting my grammar a lot, so Pidgin did not show up in
it was Queen's English.
If you choose to call it that, yes.
But you speak Igbo quite well.
Yeah, you know the funny thing about me and Igbo, I write and read Igbo better than I speak it. Now I can flow in a conversation with Igbo if you are speaking Igbo to me. If you can speak Igbo well, I'll be able to flow. But if you tell me to start up the conversation, it's unlikely that I'll start up that because I didn't speak Igbo growing up.
Okay.
My parents spoke Igbo to me, and then I was responding in English. So that was
interesting. Because the same thing applies to me. I didn't. Well, I can. I'm probably worse than you when it comes to Igbo because I not only can I can't be fluent even when the conversation starts. So it's only a few words I can contribute to the conversation. And my parents did a very good job speaking Igbo, so I will always understand it, but I cannot say them back. It's
yes.
So maybe I needed cane or something to get me into the okay, but prove that you can speak Pidgin English since you are now embracing that lifestyle. I have a sentence for you in English and I want you to say it in Pidgin. So viewers, please pay attention to Oluchi's attempt. So say this in Pidgin. This interview is weird. Don't think too much. Say it in Pidgin. This interview is weird.
This interview no dey jello. I'm not even sure if interview is a Pidgin word, but
So you mean there's no Pidgin word for interview? Wow.
I'm not sure what is it.
Because I tried myself and I was like, even me tried to crack interview in Pidgin language, nothing came to mind. And in terms of weird, I just said this interview, you get as it be as it
You
is.
get as it be.
Yeah.
That you get as it be is more weird. The translation
Weird,
of weird. Yeah.
Okay, here's a serious one now. I think this is probably the only serious question I'm going to ask you in this interview. Okay. Online, for a long time, I won't say online, but for a long time, there's one phrase that Nigerians use quite often when it comes to women and men. And the phrase is that what a man can do,
a woman can do better.
Now, I also grew up accepting that phrase. What are your thoughts concerning it? No issues. I'm just curious. Is there any validity in that statement?
Yes. And but the thing is that it's not that women are wired to do things better.
Okay.
It's just that when we decide to do something that it doesn't come naturally to us, we train harder for it.
Okay.
So let's say normally you expect a man to be a mechanic or to be good with cars.
Yeah.
Or to be good with things around the house, being a handyman and all of that. When a woman decides to do that, she has to take into account the fact that many people believe she cannot do it.
Okay.
So she's always trying to prove people wrong, because people generally have this assumption that women are just this weak, unable to do much, need a man kind of thing, people. So whenever she wants to do something like that, she's always trying to prove them wrong, and she goes beyond so that there's no doubt that she did a good job.
So one of the motivations in a sense is to actually not just do the work, but to prove it beyond reasonable doubt. So no one would even be able to pick it apart and say, oh, it was because a woman did it that she couldn't do A, B, and C correctly.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Can you imagine a world without men?
No. Because, now let me say it like this. It's not that I think the two genders need each other. It's not that we can't create a world without them, but I don't want to imagine a world without men. Because
I love the way you just ended it. I don't want to imagine a world without women. And it worries me, not worries me, but I do find it laughable when you have all these gender debates and there's supposed to be a winner in it. And the winner is supposed to be either the man or the woman. I wonder why, the way I see it is pride and maybe just ignorance. Why people don't accept the fact that men and women are both important. I mean, it's not a case of one person being more important than the other. I think it's even foolishness to assume that one is more important than the other, because I mean, you and I are Christian, for instance, and even the Bible never even shows us that one is better than the other. And I completely agree with you that there are certain things that men will excel in and that women will excel in, but they cater to their strengths. I'll give you a typical example. It's taken a long time for me to connect with the best way I can describe it is nurturing side. I really struggle to be soft. I struggle to be emotional. I struggle to connect with my sensitive side. Sometimes I can be too logical, too driven. But then I see my wife and she connects with that easily. And for some of these things, she's even been the one who has had to teach me how to be that way. So it's really interesting that people go about saying one is better than the other. I just feel like it's a funny argument, honestly.
Honestly. They are very important. And even if you try to take it or look at it in the aspect of marriage or something. I was reading someone's post on Instagram, and she was talking about you know, being a homemaker. There are men that like those kind of women, and not in a bit to like suppress those women or be domineering or anything. It's just that they appreciate those kind of people because they are not even as in homemakers themselves, and they want to have a good home. So they are fine being the one that goes out, works, does the 9 to 5 or whatever, and the woman is able to take care of the home, and they appreciate her for it. So they think there has to be that balance. So it's not, if you think, you know what, we don't need men in this world, we can, since women work now and women work in all kinds of sectors now, so we don't need them. No, it's not that. There's a strength that a man brings into a relationship, or even it doesn't have to be marriage, but there's something a man brings and there's something a woman brings, and both of them are important for the world to like function.
You know, I actually wanted to say something as well. I know about my interactions with you over the years. Now it's really interesting that all I can, there are certain times when I have conversations with you about certain things, and one thing I can always rely on, is you tend to look at things from a number of angles. So I could come up with something and come up with a conclusion, but I would tell you, and then all of a sudden you say, okay, but have you considered X, Y, and Z? And to me, that shows a very analytical person. And so it's always easy to have conversations with you because I know it won't skew too much in one direction or too much in another direction. Instead, with you, you kind of keep it balanced. If I'm going too much in one direction, you say, well, have you considered this other person's side? And I think people always need friends like that. So yeah, that's a huge plus. I'm grateful that knowing you has not been a minus in my life. You know, there are people that take away from you. So you're not one of them, Sha. Just putting it out there.
Thank you. And knowing you has been a great plus in my life, because actually you're one of the only, like, I will say this, it's just you and one other person, and that person is also from your family. So maybe there's something that you put.
It can't be anybody else in my family. It's just me. I know who you are going to mention. And he's going to be watching this interview and he's going to fill me with so much jealousy. I know. She's Onuora. It won't pass Onuora. Onuora, Abi. Onuora Onianwa, they mention you again in the interview.
Do you know the funniest thing about how I became friends with Onuora? It was that first year that you traveled out to Masters. So we had one picnic like that, and I think we went, I can't remember if it was Millennium Park or something. We had a picnic though, and Onuora was in a circle, kind of, he was with some other people in a circle and was talking to them. And I remember coming up and I saw him and I thought it was you, because I think I had missed you a lot. I was like, because there are kind of conversations that we have that I'm not able to have with anybody else. So I was so excited. Then as I was kind of running towards, I wasn't running, I was kind of walking past. Has traveled. He's not in Nigeria. That was when I realized, this must be the brother that people have been saying you had. And that's how I started talking to Onuora. It's funny how both of you are alike and different, like vastly different at the same time.
It's funny because just to add to our differences, Onuora is not as handsome as I am. I think he struggles with it generally. I'm just saying this on camera and I know why. So yeah, let's just leave it like that. But honestly, thank you, Oluchi. Those are really kind words. Now, here's another question. Do you like heights? So if someone were to take you, this is interesting. No. Why? What is the issue with heights?
Falling from it is one of them.
Oluchi is a Nigerian. That's the problem with Nigerians. You've told them about an exciting thing. They're like, what if? What if something happened?
Seriously, like when I see some people doing that zip lining stuff, I'm across like one mountain to another. I'm like, I beg. Mm-mm. Try another sport or something else. Like entertainment doesn't have to be dangerous. I don't have to.
I agree with you. My daughters sometimes they go on all these park rides, right? Me, I like to be close to the ground. So when they're doing all those things, I'm just there taking pictures because I don't understand why people want to go through that.
At all. I've been on a roller coaster once and it was enough for me. It was like, yep, I've tried it, not doing this again. It's like, no. I didn't understand. Like it wasn't
fun. Enter and meet God. How does that?
Like seriously, it doesn't. I don't just know the excitement behind it, but no, it's not for me. It's not at all.
Okay. So heights are not for you. Okay. Here's a question for you. Now I'm going to be asking you questions on this or that, and I want you to pick one or the other, and we might go into the reasons why. Custard or pap?
Pap.
Wow. Look at you now, Oli. You're looking so, tush and all that stuff, and so connected, so together. I was expecting custard.
No.
You're going with Ogi.
Yes.
Wow.
Pap is more nutritious for you. It has probiotics in it, so it's good for your gut health. That's one.
But is it
custard is starch. That's what it is. I'm not sure it has any nutritional value.
Wow.
It has.
Wow. You're on your own. Okay. Well, we'll start with, because personally, I like pap, but this is not about me. It's not about me. You understand? It's about you. So I'm opening you, not me. Right. Cockroach or spider?
Spider. I don't like either one, but spider.
So if you have you choose spider over cockroach. Why do people hate cockroaches so much?
They fly at you from nowhere. Like you could be just and then if you smash them, they stink up the whole place.
And it's so yucky.
Like they're just messy, seriously. Spiders, on the other hand, try to stay out of your way. You might run into their cobweb, but you might not run into the spider itself. And then if you just kill it, it's like done and dusted. You spit it out. That's all.
Honestly, those are my thoughts. The only problem is that, of course, spider have cobwebs, so you always have to use cobwebs. But if I had a choice, I agree with you completely. Cockroach, spider wins over cockroach. Pink or purple?
I actually like the two of them.
Oh.
But I think I'll lean towards pink. Yeah, I think I'll lean towards
Even
pink.
though you're wearing purple right now.
Yeah.
See your life. Okay, Zobo or Kunnu?
Wow. No. You can't make me choose. Kunnu. Any day, anytime. I
cannot wait to show this video to my elder brother Chukwudi, because when I asked him this question, he said Zobo. And I told him he didn't understand the revelation that's associated with Kunnu drinking.
True. But on a hot day, on a cold day, any day.
My sister. That thing it just takes you to a different level. It's like
yes. It's just, and it's nutritious too.
And it's nutritious. I argued with him. See the video. It was like no. He even brought Ade into the talk and was like, yeah, Ade obviously we will take Kunnu, blah blah blah. I said, you don't understand what you're saying. I like the both of them, but if I had to choose, it would be Kunnu.
Yes.
Okay. Garri or Amala?
Garri.
Oluchi, you have to predict.
I just tasted Amala for the first time in my life, I think, last year.
I knew the reason why I put that question is because I guessed that you would, if you told me that you took Amala, it would be rare. I don't know how I guessed, but okay. Tell me about your experience.
It was nice because I think I took it with Begiri and Ewedu. I think that's what the combination was. I took the meat was, I think Amala is the only food that I will agree to eat, that all those kind of meats, that roundabout and all those things. If it's outside Amala, I'm not eating that meat. So that's the only time that is acceptable or palatable for me. So, but Garri, I grew up eating Garri. I'm kind of used to it.
Yeah, so I think for me it's the same thing as well. I know if I asked you this, and pounded yam, I already know where you're going to. So let's just leave that question alone. But they are predictable like this. I already know where we're going to. And since me and you are able, we know what it is. So, but why I am really interested in what you just said about Mala, especially with the Gbegiri meat. Please, can you tell me, now I've got a lot of you reference, and maybe I should direct this to them, but the level of confusion I felt the first time a Yoruba person made me soup and gave me to eat, I don't understand it. I mean, growing up, you know, with the Igbo culture and with my parents and all of that, when I'm given food and soup, you know, Garri or pounded yam or whatever, the soup is more than the meat. So you can play with the soup, you can even leave the soup afterwards. But my eating meals when it is made by Yorubas is I'm wrestling to find where to dip
the soup. Yes, and they cut the meat big. They'll cut the meat big, like so that you'll be sure you ate meat.
Are we fighting with the meat? Why does meat have to be cut as though it is the size of the plate itself?
Yes. I don't know whether it's a thing with them. I don't know, but it's great. But my only if it was like regular beef that they were putting in that amala at that size, I'm happy with that. but they like that roundabout, shaki, everything, those parts of the meat that you're like,
which is really interesting because my wife is Yoruba, but I will save that discussion for another day. When did you last eat Banga Soup?
Last year. I think last year.
I envy you. Wow. I thought you would say long time ago. I think I've not eaten Banga in probably 3 or 4, 5 years, if I'm being generous.
Wow.
I'm telling you, where we are right now, we're suffering. Are you laughing at my suffering? Because no, there are certain meals that we cannot. No, it's not that we don't have access to. It's just that to have access to those meals, we actually have to make a lot of sacrifices in terms of buying the ingredients. If we want it ready-made, we'll have to travel far. For some are very easy to make, some are very popular. Okay, okra, egusi. But when you now start diving into, you know, some other ones, the edikaikon, the banga, the afang soup, that's when you start getting into trouble with regards to cost. But God, you don't know what you have. You don't know. You don't know. Okay, here's another one. Most people in Nigeria that have attended Nigerian universities, when you ask them about their experiences, they usually give funny responses, but none of them are really positives, at least those that I've spoken with. So I wanted to ask you specifically, can you tell me something or a few things that you liked whilst attending university in Nigeria?
Okay, well, one of the things was that I lived off campus.
Okay.
And somehow, by God's grace, we ended up in a lodge with sane people. I'll say sane people because many people have the experience of living in the same lodge with cultists or, you know, people that smoke a lot or things like that. But we ended up living with people that were kind of like-minded or sane. So we were like one big family in that lodge. So it was that made my university experience interesting, especially for my third year. So we had when we were graduating by final year, almost all of us in the lodge were in final year.
Yeah.
So we were all writing our project, everybody's money had finished, kind of thing. So at a point we were cooking together. So we'll contribute money and then cook So if I have gas, you have spaghetti, and this person has tomato, we'll bring it together and we'll cook and everybody will eat. Then there was one guy like that his gen was bigger than everybody's gen. So we were using his gen to do our project and things like that. So it was really fun. That aspect of it was fun. Okay. So it was a safe place to come back to and just relax. That's
why that Nigerian universities, whenever they are mentioned, and I'm guilty of this as well, why is it that in the same sentence of mentioning Nigerian universities, we always talk about cults and cultism? Now I've said it, I'm also guilty of this, but I wonder why it seems to be so concentrated in the conversations with Nigerian universities.
Because that is one of the things, I don't know, is one of the things that Nigerian universities are known for. Like, that's where they carry out their activities most of the time. I don't know whether it's the fact that they're away from their parents, and it's kind of nobody's chasing you. There's no, university is not strict like secondary school. Just if you like, you can come to university. You can from first year to final year, you not go to any class. Nobody's going to come and do anything to you. It's just you that will suffer in the end, but you can really do anything you want when you're in university. Depending on the university you go. If you go to a federal university, you really can do almost anything you want there. And so I think that's one of the reasons cultism is prevalent there, because a lot of people are coming into that's their first time of being on their own. So they are really vulnerable and they don't realize that. So many people think, now I'm a grown up, I can do what I want, but they don't realize that they are actually vulnerable, because all this while you have been under the protection of
your family,
your parents. You have been under the protection of a structured learning system, which was like your secondary school. Somebody was telling you, wake up, go here. Now it's time for lunch. Now it's time for dinner. Now it's time for breakfast. These are time for your classes. You can't be in the hostel when it's time for classes and things like that. But when you get into the university, it's like free reign. You can do anything you want. There's nobody chasing you and things like that. So a lot of people are vulnerable and they are easy to take advantage of in the university. So that's
quite sad, really. It is. Okay. I was going to ask you then versus now question, which is usually what I bring in. So like I said, we've known each other for decades now, but if you were to look at or speak with yourself from when we first met, and you had something to say to yourself, what would it be in terms of whatever, what would it be? What would you share with yourself that you feel would be very valuable? I'm sure you have a lot of things to say.
Recently, I've been telling myself that I should embrace like who I am, basically. The things I like, the things I don't like. I should show up as myself every time. Because there was something you used to tell me then, like like I said, it's just basically you and the other person.
Onuora Onianwa. I'm going to talk to him after this conversation. He shouldn't be dragging friend. Onuora should not be dragging friend with me. I don't like it.
So it's just with two of you that I have this kind of, would I say, heartfelt, analytical, just free conversations with, because I have found out that not many people understand the way I think. So when you're trying to have this kind of conversation with them, either they are looking at you like, you think too much, I beg, as in, why would you always take things in that direction kind of thing, or they are just like, yeah, right, and you can't get the same. Like with you, it's as if I'm bouncing off ideas. With them, you can't get that same energy of bouncing off ideas and having conversation like that. Now, you used to tell me, like, why don't I share there are things I'll tell you and you'll be like, why don't I share those things with other people? And not just...
I actually wanted to say that. Yep.
Not just myself. And that's one thing I'm trying to like do. Like to be able to just express my opinion more.
Yeah.
Even with people that I feel like don't understand it. It's up to them to understand it or not understand it.
Yeah.
But I want to be more outward than inward with my opinions and ideas and anything like that, because it's everybody else is just really showing up as themselves, and I'm being tolerant and accepting their personality and everything. So deal with it. If our friendship is strong enough, it will take my expression of myself. If it's not, then I don't even really need to be spending that much energy on someone that is not, that doesn't accept me.
It's interesting because I actually feel, honestly, Oluchi, I think you've got this balanced view of things, and how you communicate it, honestly balanced. I think it's really balanced. So you're right. I've always been a kind of, why doesn't she say a bit more to a few people and communicate that a bit more? Because really you've got such a balanced view. You're quite observant, and like I said earlier on in the conversation, I'll talk with you about one particular thing. My mind is chasing in this direction, but you say, okay, calm down. Have you looked at this, for instance? And I'm okay, fine, no wahala. But you need someone who can be able to look at things holistically and be able to say, okay, this is how it should be. So yeah, you're right. So I guess that's what you're going to be telling your younger self, to be a bit more open about those kind of things. And not Oh wow. Okay. Cool stuff. Oluchi, where are we with art?
We're coming along great.
We are coming along.
I feel like I'll just be the next Picasso by the time you just see this.
And I believe you. I honestly believe you. And just so you know, I don't know if you know this, but I've adopted something new in this podcast. Once you are done with the art, not only will you show everybody, you will send me a copy of it, scanned copy, picture copy, or whatever, and I'm going to publish it and put it on my website, because I have a website, and I'll publish your art, put it at whatever price I want. So you would have created the Picasso that you are talking about. So
yes.
Okay, so while you are doing that, you say you let me know how you're getting on with your art. So let me ask you another question. Did you ever get into any fights?
Wow.
Anybody? Don't lie now. Don't lie. Yes, I know you are a very kind and understanding person, but have you ever physically had to exchange hands with somebody before?
Yes, I have.
It's a lie.
It's true.
Hey!
But that was in JS1.
Okay.
And it was like, and one thing I'll say is, never underestimate or judge people by their size. I assumed that I was going to be like, I could easily beat this person because I was bigger than her. But there's a difference between local chicken and agric fowl. Yeah, difference. But one is horrible. The other one that is lepa, but the bone of that lepa one is stronger. So I assumed wrongly.
Just pause. Viewers, what Oluchi has said about local chicken and agric fowl is something that Nigerians normally use to compare quality and size sometimes. So just continue. Chicken size and quality. I'm listening.
So I assumed that was going to be like, it was going to be an easy thing. But God, the girl's blow was like, what? Thankfully, people came to separate us. But by the time they came to separate us, I was already like, had received the slap. So I never fought again in my life. I'd rather I'm not being confrontational on a normal day. So I was like, no, this is my sign that this is not for me. So No, that was the one
I
time.
think I've been in a number of fights as boys are usually in, and I can't remember any that I won. So I'm just one of those people that will say, yeah, if you try me, you know, the ones that they will be doing, then somebody will be holding them.
Yes.
I like that
Yes.
kind of role. I like the somebody holding me. And
Holding, yes.
it's good when you want to start that fight, you look around so that there's definitely somebody to hold you. Because if not, and I don't want my children to see their father on the floor receiving blow.
I'm telling you. So after that, I just stopped. I avoided fights. Like I just avoided it. I beg.
How many sugars in your cup of tea?
I don't do sugar anymore. I usually take honey. So, so I basically a teaspoon or tablespoon, or some days I just pour it as the spirit leads. So
the more you put, the healthier it is.
Yes.
Because me, I think I grew up with the I didn't, when everyone now started introducing honey into everything, I didn't even go along with it. So I grew up with more of sugar.
Yeah.
And it was all cubes of sugar. So I had a general measurement for everything I was taking, whether drinking Garri or pap, and it was always 2 cubes.
Oh.
Only 2 cubes of sugar. I'll never go beyond 2 cubes of sugar. Okay, now here's another question.
Okay.
Where did you do your NYSC and how was it?
I did my NYSC in Port Harcourt.
Ooh.
It was nice. Okay, let me say this here. Before I did NYSC, I was looking forward to NYSC.
Okay.
Because I had seen my parents' NYSC pictures, camp, especially camp. I had seen their camp pictures and it looked like they were having fun. I had cheered on everybody else I knew that had done NYSC. Even when you went for your own NYSC, I was like more excited for you than you that I was going on the NYSC. But it was my experience was such a stark difference from what I thought it would be. Camp was not fun.
Camp is not fun at all.
It's not. Like, there's nothing about it that is fun at all. In fact, it was stressful, and it reminded me of like prison somehow. Like it had that whole vibe of prison.
So that everybody is clear, Oluchi has never gone to prison, but
I've never gone to prison, and I will never go by God's grace. So it really solidified the idea in my mind that you just can't end up in prison, because this is it. Mami markets that they were making noise about, the first food I ate there was terrible. So I was like, I might as well just be eating the camp food and not be wasting my money buying something that's terrible. The camp wasn't it.
Yeah, then we had some of this thing in camp as well, with all the drills that they were doing early in the morning. They would get us up to do matching and all of that. And I was sense like in all of those
essence. I'm telling you, I do not understand it. I don't understand it. It wasn't just. I was so happy when we had to leave.
No, I'm telling you, camp was something I honestly I couldn't wrap my head around. And the experience they give us in camp, it's not like we'll ever need it. You're only there for such a short time. They're teaching you drills of how to match long distances. What are you using it for? You know, it didn't make any sense. And then we'll be eating camp food, Indomie that they will put together into one bowl and start turning around. I was like, no, this is not for me at all. Not for me, I'm telling you. not at all. Ooh, here's another one. Did you do geography in WAEC?
No. Funny story. Okay, we had to choose between geography and literature.
Okay, I remember.
So I chose literature. Now the first I think I just did geography for one day. I think I did it I did it for a little while before they made it compulsory. Oh, I think it's economics I did for a while. Then I now had to choose between literature and geography. So I chose literature. But there was this guy that I had a serious crush on that time, and he was in geography class. I really contemplated on changing my classes just to be in the same class with him. But no,
wow, honestly, so someone like you used to have crush. I honestly thought you were holy. This is new information. I think Onuora will be less than impressed, because I never would have imagined you have crushes. Wow. Wow. You've not finished reading your Bible. Okay, now that is me. That is me.
Okay.
I am done now, I think.
Yeah.
So we are the last part of this conversation. First of all, thank you for a very engaging chat, honestly, Oluchi. I'm really glad that we had this chat. But now we're at the point where I want to see what you have, what art you have made. So who is going to go first? You?
We'll go at the same time. So that nobody will say. Alright.
Oh yeah. Oh, that looks so pretty. All right, so you've got grasses there, and you've got butterflies. Oh, that's lovely. So tell me about that art. Why did you make that?
Okay, well, I like nature. These are some of the things I like. I like butterflies. I like flowers.
Wow.
I like sunlight, and just if you're out in the field, like a flower field. I don't like flowers I'm not sure I'm one of those people that like, receiving flowers as a gift. I like flowers being in their natural places, out there in the field. I appreciate them there. So yeah, I like this. This is just kind of, for me, a nice day. This is what it looks like.
Because the reason why I asked you this, and I'll be very, very honest with you, before you started this interview, I was thinking of what I was going to draw.
Yeah.
I already made up my mind that when I was talking with you, that I was going to draw a flower. That was what I already made up my mind I was going to draw. And the reason was because I said no. Oluchi is Oluchi is like this really beautiful flower. And I wanted to capture that in an image. But when we start our conversation, my mind now changed. So it's your fault for changing the topic. So I didn't draw the flower.
Your mind changed to what you like.
What I wanted to draw, my mind now changed. This is why you shouldn't talk to people, because they can change your mind. So what I ended up drawing was because of our conversation. So this is what I drew. So
is this pap now, or is this custard?
No, this is pap. It can't be custard. No. So this is pap. And you can see the milk there, and this is 2
cubes.
2 cubes of shit.
This is peak milk or 3 crowns. Those ones that you just open by the side.
It might be carnation. It depends. It's up to you. It's your imagination. So honestly, I think that art is really good, and you will just keep lying on this podcast saying, "No, I cannot draw. So when was the last time you actually drew, apart from this?
It must have been it's been a long time.
Wow.
It's been a very long time. I can't even remember the last time I drew. I can't remember.
You see, but you came here now. You ended up drawing so well. Oluchi, honestly, thank you so much for this chat. But before you leave, I was wondering if there was one last thing you wanted to share, either with the audience or with me, just anything generally.
With you, I'll say that I'm happy that you are still like the person that I know you to be. I just feel like as in you're growing too, but you're still, I feel like even 10 years from now, I can still see you and relate with you because you're just yourself, which is a good thing to just be, and keep it up.
Thanks.
You're really a great person.
You see, and this is the reason why I bring this kind of people on this show. Anyway, yes.
And I think for anybody that is watching it, I feel like always be yourself. We don't know how long we're going to be on earth for, but you are here for a reason. Express yourself as authentically as possible. You don't know who will learn from you expressing from your expression of yourself. And I'm not saying you should, if you have bad habits, you should continue your bad habits. You should always be on a path of improving yourself and growing and being the best version of yourself. But always approach life with your own personality and authenticity. That people who will appreciate that. You might meet a lot of people that would not understand you or appreciate you, but you have the same permission that they have to be on this earth.
Yeah.
So just express yourself fully. It will help other people appreciate it. It makes the place a better place, makes the world a better place, makes the world a more colorful place. So yeah.
Oh, Oluchi, thank you so much, everyone. I just
Thank you.
appreciate Oluchi. Thank you so much. And so yeah, this is the end of the chat. And hopefully I'll get Oluchi again here, and we can have a chat again in the future about something totally different. But yes, until next week, I will see you guys later. Thanks, Oluchi. Thank you so much again. Take care of yourself. Bye.